doing kind of shuttle runs and then push-ups on one end and squats on the other, and we're jumping around and we're doing this, and it's knackering. But you can imagine that you're in a Rocky montage when you're doing that.
Oh yeah.
But when Kat had us like throwing our shoulders about like absolute whoppers, mate.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, you're right. When you're doing a warm up in like an MMA gym or a boxing gym or something like that, or you got the serious mug on and you're just shaking it out and big breaths, and it's all very masculine and stuff. We start doing our stretches there. She puts music on.
Yeah, the Saturdays of all things.
The Saturdays, yeah. Oh, did I ever tell you about? I've got a Saturday story.
Oh yeah,
I have actually. Yeah,
I'd love to hear it.
Well, when I was in my band in Coventry, and they had the what's it called? The sort of Freshers Week ball, I guess, in the Coventry University in the middle of town. We were booked, and the headline act was the Saturdays. Now, can you imagine like the pervy little, this will be good. Like we're sharing a changing room with the Saturdays. I'm like, okay, right, spraying links in all over myself. Like,
Links Africa, right?
Oh yeah, I'm like probably going to nail at least 2 of them. All right, this is going to be awesome. So we get to the venue, we get downstairs, we go, like, it's just a nice gig. There's like a nice ride, there's sandwiches and beer and crisps and stuff, as opposed to just like, no changing room and shut up and we'll tell you when you're ready. And we're waiting and no Saturdays. And it was like, okay, maybe later, and then eventually we get called out to do our sound check. And then the Saturdays do arrive, right? And the smell of like, every kind of impulse that was available in the shelves comes flying out of this minivan, and they get on stage, right? I know, mate, and we're sitting at the back of the room, watching the Saturdays do their sound check. And this is it, right? This is not. I know I feel mean for bringing it up now. I don't mean to take the piss, but I am gonna. One of them's at the front singing like, yeah, doing all the singing, and the backing vocals is on like a backing track. One of them, I swear to God, it was Frankie, the woman with short hair, right? And she goes, excuse me, my microphone's not on. I can't hear myself. And they're like, yeah, you're not singing tonight, love. And she went, oh, like that.
Oh no. Oh, poor girl.
Well, I know.
You're lip syncing.
Yeah, no, you're actually just here to stand there like a mic stand tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were at the back. Obviously, we were like very serious musicians, like the thought of 1 ounce of integrity, like not being with us that night was not even a thought. It was just like, what?
Yeah.
Look how these pop stars act. How dare they do that to the crowd and all this? But I mean, it was funny. Yeah, you're not singing tonight, Frankie. And then basically they split and we didn't see them for the whole gig, and we played our set, came off stage, and they literally got out of their minivan again, came on stage, and they were wearing like the same dress but in 5 different colours.
Oh yeah.
And then they just sauntered past again, and it was like, oh, I was just about to nail 1 or 2 of them. Well, yeah.
That's crazy. I think a lot of people don't realise how like put on the music industry is. Like so much of it is just the kind of image of it, right? So it's like, right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna dress you up like a pack of Starburst, right? And you're gonna be all different, right? No, we don't need you to sing, because we got that one take in the studio, compress the fuck out of it, like put a bunch of different layers on. I just need you to stand there, look pretty, and like you said, be a jumped up microphone stand. It's not about the art, it's about the product. I went for a few meetings with record labels, right? Like after my YouTube went mad, I spoke to a few of them, and then I was speaking to one in LA, right? And they called me and they were like, oh, we really like your sound. There's a lot of heat on you right now. You're doing really well. We'd like to fly you out. We could talk more and have the meetings and this, that, and the other.
You had at least a semi on by now.
Of course, fucking LA,
that's amazing.
Yeah, like that's fucking sick. So then I said, right, well, there's a lot going on, and I'm needed in a lot of places at once right now. Like, let's have the meeting over the phone instead of me. Like I'm not stupid. I know the whole goal is they put me on a business class flight. They get me over there. They put me out in a penthouse. They sell me this idea of this life that I could possibly have, and then they throw all this shit and they pay for everything, and no expense is spared. And then I end up doing some soulless shit that I hate, and then I have a heroin fucking overdose in like 4 years time or some shit like that. So I was like, right, let's talk about what the kind of goal is and see if
that's really astute of you to have thought that far in advance and to have zoomed out from the situation and observed it that way.
Yeah,
a lot of people would have just, I mean,
easily got caught up in it. But I just know people are cunts in it, like, and
you're not wrong there.
If it was really about my music, then they would have been in contact before I blew up. Right, let's have a chat. Let's see what the goal is. Because I'm not a greedy person. I'm not a money like I don't want a Lambo. As long as I've got enough money to pay my bills and to take my kids to the zoo and shit, then I'm satisfied. I can't take it with me. I don't fucking care. And money really isn't.
Well, if you start making music with the goal being to make money, My God, I mean, you're doing it completely wrong. Aren't
Yeah.
you? You're Simon Cowell, aren't you?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
100%.
like Led Zeppelin myself and Pink Floyd. Not that arse. Don't come at me and expect me to listen to the X Factor winner from 4 years ago single, because that I'll vomit. Right? You know, nothing good comes from people trying to chase money in the music industry.
Yeah, and you can hear it, and like, not to get all like Indian wounded artists and stuff, but like, all my songs mean a lot to me. They have been forged through the fires of fucking despair and pain, and whether that is kind of through empathy. I've got some songs where I've listened to somebody's story, and then it's almost like I can hear the song, but with all the like the high end taken out, so I can hear it like it's being played in 3 rooms to my right. But then the more that I work on it, the clearer it becomes, and then I start hearing the lyrics, and it's literally like I pull my songs out of this ether. It's not even like I write them. It's like I'm the medium they come through, right? And I know how waffly this sounds.
It's like you're an antenna.
Yeah, and I pick into these kind of frequencies. So I don't want to be writing songs about fucking random.
Oh, you try to think of what the Saturdays write songs about or something. Like,
Yeah,
I wonder what do they write songs about.
Well, no, they don't, mate. Some cunt writes.
Well said. Of course they do. Well, they look at market research and what's the most bland, inoffensive, pointless thing that most people go through. Oh, I fancy a girl and she don't like me, or that's how you get 100 songs written about the exact same thing.
But you hear it too, like the way it's kind of structured in this at the opening, the verse, a chorus, a verse, a bridge, a chorus, and then.
If you took one of your songs to like a pop producer, they'd probably say it's good, but you need to put the chorus at the beginning. And
no, well, there needs to be the structure. No, right. Either listen to it and like it, or don't listen to it, or like whatever. Right. It is for me. If you can relate to it too, amazing and fantastic. So I was speaking to these people, and they were nice enough. And they were saying like, well, what is your goal? And I was like, well, like I'm sure everybody says this, but I don't really care about money. That's not my first priority, is to shill all of these sales, right? What I care about is that people feel my music when they listen to it. So you can't put my music on at a party unless you want to clear the place out. If you listen to my music on your own when you're having a doop, or you're looking at the stars, or you're walking on the beach or something, it takes you somewhere, right? And that is what it's human to human, individual. You listen to this and you tell me how it makes you actually feel, right? And that's what I want.
When I listen to your music, I get the vibe that it's the kind of music you can get lost in. Mm-hmm. You know, not to just gas you up because you're sitting there in front of me, but you know, I do love your music and stuff, and I think that it's very sensitive music. It's not a banging pop track. You need to let it into you, and then you join it and you go on this journey together with your songs. You know, they're very sort of like ethereal and like breathy, and it's a special feeling when you get into what your music is offering and stuff. You can't really do that to order, can you? Every
time I try to talk about what their goal was, right, and what their ideas were, and they were saying that I could go on tour supporting Boyce Avenue, which unbelievably talented on YouTube and stuff. Really big fan of them. I was saying like, what songs of mine have you actually heard? It was we heard Lost and we really really like that one, and we've heard Spanner and we love that song, and we love Ceiling. Right, well at least they've actually listened to my songs, because at first I thought they were kind of black, and I was like, okay, cool. And then they kept on trying to bring the conversation back to get me on a plane, and then I was saying like, look, like, I'm a dad, so I'm not interested in this idea of this glitz and glam and stuff. My priorities are where I am. I've got my girlfriend, I've got my kids, and this is what I want to do. I don't want to be away on tour for 6 months and miss my kids. That is the most important thing to me, is how finite this time is with my kids, especially while they're little and they still like me, because I'm sure they'll get to teenage and think I'm a loser and want me to fuck off or whatever else. But this time with them now is finite, and I could make all the money in the world and sit in a big lonely house when I'm older, or I could take my kids to the park, and I took them to the woods and we found a newt for the first time, and I was showing it to them, and I was blowing their mind, and then you can lie to them as well, can't you? You can tell, there's a mermaid out in that water, there's fairies in the air, and this tree's been knocked down by a troll, you can tell, because it's got the troll marks on it and all of this stuff.
Well, let's hope they don't have to bring that one up in therapy later. And I never did find a fairy, and I found out he was lying the whole time.
He was lying the whole time, the bastard. I spoke to them, and then it ended up kind of breaking down. They said, okay, well, we don't think our goals align. All I wanted from them really was, I wanted them to help me distribute it and advertise it, and to put me in touch with some producers, so I could just be the talent and not have to worry about mixing and making all of this nonsense. So I can just turn up and say, right, I've wrote this song, not sure the time signature, could you help me out? And then they started to tell me that they've got a team of songwriters and stuff, and that I'd have like limited creative control. I said, well, no, then. Like,
they actually told you have limited creative control. That's insanity.
Yeah. So